Chosen one. The cosmic game board just flipped. The energy you've been building through every challenge, every test, every moment of standing in your truth is reaching critical mass. First, understand that chosen ones naturally trigger two responses in others: elevation or opposition. When you carry authentic spiritual power, when you refuse to compromise your truth, when you maintain your standards regardless of external pressure, you automatically separate people into two camps. Some are inspired to rise higher, others feel threatened and seek to tear you down. This dynamic plays out in every environment where chosen ones appear. Certain individuals become uncomfortable around genuine authenticity because it exposes their own lack of integrity. Your natural radiance highlights their dimness. Your refusal to participate in toxic dynamics makes their participation more obvious. The spiritual realm operates on frequencies, and chosen ones emit a frequency that awakens both light and darkness in others. Your authenticity, your refusal to compromise your values, your natural tendency to speak truth when others remain silent, these qualities create a magnetic field that draws experiences toward you. Some people are drawn to your light because they're ready for their own elevation. Others feel threatened because your presence exposes what they've been hiding from themselves. Your very existence challenges systems built on deception, mediocrity, and spiritual poverty. But here's what makes you different. Your spiritual sensitivity allows you to perceive these dynamics before they fully manifest. That intuitive feeling when someone's energy doesn't match their words. That immediate knowing when an environment isn't meant for you. That internal warning system that activates around certain people or situations. Your look carries power that most people can't comprehend. It's not just your physical appearance, it's the energy signature you emit that either elevates or exposes everyone in your presence. Some people feel inspired just by being near you. Others feel deeply uncomfortable because your authentic vibration highlights their own spiritual poverty. This energetic presence you carry has been building through every test, every challenge, every moment you chose to maintain your integrity instead of conforming to lower standards. What others see as intimidating is actually your spiritual strength made visible. What makes them nervous is their own conscience recognizing authentic power when it encounters it. Every challenge you've faced as a chosen one has been spiritual conditioning. The difficult people who seem to appear in every environment weren't random occurrences. They were testing your ability to maintain your frequency under pressure. The situations that pushed you to your limits were developing your capacity to handle greater responsibility. When chosen ones enter new environments, they often trigger what appears to be coordinated resistance. People who've never met you somehow develop similar attitudes toward you. Workplace dynamics shift when you arrive. Community energy changes in response to your presence. Social circles reorganize themselves around whether people are comfortable with your authentic power. This isn't persecution, it's preparation. The universe has been conditioning you through opposition because your destiny requires someone who can maintain their center regardless of external chaos. Every person who tested your patience was developing your emotional mastery. Every situation that challenged your principles was strengthening your spiritual backbone. The isolation you've experienced wasn't punishment, it was protection and preparation. While others were compromising their integrity for temporary acceptance, you were developing the kind of character that attracts lasting abundance. While others were following the crowd, you were learning to trust your inner guidance system. Your ability to sense malevolent energy, even when you couldn't identify its source, demonstrates your spiritual gifts. You know immediately when someone's intentions don't match their presentation. You feel the energy of environments before others even notice the surface dynamics. Your intuition serves as an early warning system that most people lack entirely. The community energy around chosen ones often becomes particularly toxic because your presence triggers deep insecurity in those who've settled for mediocrity. Older individuals who've lost their vitality and surrendered their dreams see someone who still carries fire, who still believes in possibilities, who refuses to accept limitations. Your natural radiance reminds them of everything they gave up on. This bitter energy manifests as gossip, manufactured drama, and attempts to pull you into conflicts designed to drain your spiritual batteries. But you've learned to stay above these dynamics, to avoid engaging with community toxicity while remaining aware of the undercurrents of hostility that swirl around authentic power. The workplace dynamics you've experienced reveal how institutional environments often become battlegrounds when chosen ones appear. Supervisors who feel threatened by your natural leadership qualities create obstacles to your advancement. Colleagues who recognize your superior character feel compelled to find flaws they can exploit. Company policies somehow get interpreted in ways that specifically target your situation. Through all of this, you maintained your professionalism with a level of grace that impressed even those who were testing you. You documented problems appropriately, sought resolution through proper channels, and handled each injustice with dignity that stood in stark contrast to the pettiness surrounding you. People who feel threatened by chosen ones operate from a specific psychological profile. They're usually individuals who've compromised their own authenticity so thoroughly that genuine power triggers their shame. They see someone who refused to settle, someone who maintained their standards, someone who chose integrity over convenience, and it reminds them of every time they chose differently. These individuals often have influence within their communities because they've learned to manipulate systems rather than excel within them. They've built their identity around being the most important person in small ponds, and chosen ones represent the ocean they're too afraid to explore. Their opposition follows predictable patterns. First, they try to make you doubt your perceptions by gaslighting your experiences. When that fails, they attempt to isolate you from potential support systems. Finally, they escalate to more direct forms of sabotage, professional, social, or personal. But here's their fatal flaw. They fundamentally misunderstand the nature of spiritual power. They believe they can diminish your light by creating external darkness, not realizing that chosen ones are conditioned to shine brighter under pressure. Every attack they mount actually strengthens your spiritual muscles and increases your magnetic presence. The psychology behind their behavior reveals their weakness. Someone secure in their own power doesn't need to tear others down. Someone confident in their own worth doesn't feel threatened by authentic excellence. Someone operating from genuine strength builds bridges rather than walls. There's often a mastermind behind the most coordinated opposition chosen ones face. Someone whose obsession with destroying your light has consumed their entire existence. This individual operates from a unique form of psychological torment. They're intimately connected to someone who admires your character, your resilience, your refusal to compromise your spiritual standards. This mastermind watches as their partner, spouse, or close associate becomes increasingly impressed by how you handle adversity. Every graceful response to injustice, every demonstration of integrity under pressure, every moment you choose dignity over revenge, only increases their admiration for your character. The mastermind can't tolerate this dynamic. In their twisted logic, if they can break you down, discredit your character, or eliminate your influence entirely, they can eliminate what they perceive as competition for attention and respect. They don't understand that authentic admiration can't be manufactured through the destruction of others. It can only be earned through the demonstration of character. This psychological warfare becomes methodical and ruthless. The mastermind studies manipulation tactics, employs community-wide gaslighting, and creates networks of enablers who each play small roles in a larger campaign designed to systematically erode your spiritual foundation. But their obsession becomes their downfall. What starts as jealousy evolves into sick addiction. They become so consumed with monitoring your responses and analyzing your strategies that they lose themselves entirely in this campaign of spiritual destruction. Your response to systematic spiritual warfare is what separates chosen ones from ordinary individuals. Instead of becoming bitter, vindictive, or defeated, you maintained your integrity. You handled each challenge with grace that impressed even those who were testing you. You refused to compromise your values, even when it would have been easier to conform. This response pattern doesn't go unnoticed. There are always people watching how chosen ones handle adversity. Individuals of genuine power and influence observe how you maintain dignity under pressure. They notice when you choose truth over acceptance, when you maintain standards regardless of external pressure. Your ability to transform negative experiences into wisdom and strength fascinates people who've never developed that alchemical capacity. They see someone who can take spiritual attacks and emerge not just unbroken, but actually stronger and more radiant. This quality is rare enough to capture the attention of those who recognize its value. The same presence that intimidated your opponents attracts those who are ready for elevation. Your natural radiance draws people who are comfortable with authentic power. Your refusal to participate in lower vibrational dynamics signals to higher vibrational individuals that you're someone worth knowing. While your opponents were investing energy in trying to diminish you, your future allies were watching how you handled the pressure. They were impressed by your resilience, your integrity, your ability to maintain excellence under conditions that would break most people. There's a spiritual law that governs what happens when people attack chosen ones. Every negative energy sent toward you returns to its source multiplied. This isn't wishful thinking or spiritual fantasy, it's observable cosmic mechanics. The same way gravity pulls objects toward Earth, spiritual gravity pulls negative energy back to those who generated it. People who invested years in hatred and malicious activity toward chosen ones inevitably face consequences that mirror their intentions. Those who wished poverty experience financial destruction. Those who attempted to damage health develop serious illnesses. Those who tried to destroy relationships watch their own families crumble. This karmic acceleration happens because chosen ones carry spiritual protection that most people don't possess. When you're operating under divine assignment, attacks against you become attacks against the force that's guiding your mission. The universe itself becomes invested in your protection and success. The more coordinated the opposition, the more spectacular the collapse when it comes. Groups of people who unite against chosen ones create collective karma that eventually demands collective consequences. The energy they invested in your destruction becomes the very force that destroys their own lives. Your opponents are currently experiencing this reversal, though they may not yet understand the connection between their past actions and their present circumstances. The same systematic approach they used against you is now working against them through legal, financial, health, and relationship consequences. The separation from their support systems happens swiftly and brutally. People who participated in campaigns against chosen ones find themselves cut off from families, friends, and professional associates. The revelation of their participation in spiritual warfare destroys relationships they thought were unshakable. Many go into hiding rather than face the consequences of their actions. Some flee their communities entirely, abandoning homes and businesses rather than confront the evidence of their spiritual crimes. Others attempt to blame their participation on coercion or manipulation, claiming they didn't understand the full scope of their involvement in darkness. The charges against them, whether legal, karmic, or cosmic, are extensive: harassment, conspiracy, abuse of spiritual authority, obstruction of divine justice, and violations of universal law. The systematic nature of their campaign against you creates an energy trail that makes cosmic prosecution straightforward once the universe begins the reckoning process. Health consequences manifest immediately. The stress of exposure, investigation, and spiritual prosecution takes a devastating toll on people who invested years in hatred and malicious spiritual activity. Many develop serious illnesses that mirror the suffering they attempted to inflict on you, a direct manifestation of spiritual law in the physical realm. The hourglass effect becomes visible as their time runs out, while yours expands exponentially. Every moment they spent plotting against you was actually working against them, creating the very evidence that would expose their activities. Every second they invested in hatred was building toward their own destruction. The universe operates on balance, and every period of testing for chosen ones is followed by a period of reward. The same spiritual laws that allowed your opposition also guarantee your elevation. The energy you maintained while under pressure is about to manifest as tangible abundance in every area of your life. Your professional opportunities are about to multiply, because people in positions of authority recognize that someone who performed excellently while under attack will be extraordinary in a supportive environment. Your personal relationships are about to improve because you've developed the kind of character that attracts high-quality connections. Financial abundance is flowing toward you because you've demonstrated fiscal responsibility under difficult conditions. Emotional abundance is manifesting because you've healed your relationship with yourself through every challenge. Spiritual abundance is yours because you never compromised your connection to divine guidance. The isolation that felt like punishment is revealed as preparation for the level of connection you're about to experience. The self-reliance you were forced to develop becomes the foundation for healthy interdependence with people who actually deserve access to your energy. Your elevation isn't just personal triumph, it's cosmic correction. The universe is using your situation to demonstrate that good ultimately triumphs over evil, that character matters more than manipulation, and that divine justice always prevails, even when it seems delayed. There are individuals who observe how chosen ones handle spiritual warfare, and they draw conclusions about character based on performance under pressure. These are people who understand that true worth is revealed not when life is easy, but when everything seems to be falling apart. Someone has been watching your journey with growing admiration. They've seen you maintain values under pressure that would have broken most people. They've watched you choose integrity over convenience, truth over acceptance, dignity over revenge. Your character under fire has impressed them more than any conventional attraction could have. This person possesses the resources and influence to dramatically change your circumstances, and they're preparing to make that investment in your life. They recognize that your journey through opposition has created unique wisdom and capabilities that make you valuable as a partner, colleague, or collaborator. Your alchemical nature, your ability to transform negative experiences into strength and wisdom, fascinates people who've never developed that capacity themselves. They see someone who doesn't just survive adversity, but actually uses it as fuel for extraordinary development. The relationship or opportunity they're preparing to offer isn't based on pity for what you've endured, but respect for how you've handled it. They don't see you as damaged by your experiences, but refined by them. They understand that your journey has created qualities that can't be developed any other way. This connection isn't emerging from desperation or loneliness, it's a meeting of equals who recognize each other's spiritual worth. Your journey through opposition has created the kind of character that attracts people who are also operating from positions of authentic power and influence. The timing of this connection is divinely orchestrated. As the spiritual warfare against you reaches its conclusion and your opponents face their consequences, love and partnership enter your life from the most unexpected direction. This isn't coincidental timing, it's cosmic precision. The autumn season of your spiritual journey brings the beginning of this extraordinary relationship. The symbolism is perfect. As the opposition against you crumbles like falling leaves, the seeds of your new partnership take root in soil that's been prepared through every test you've endured. Your inner child, wounded by years of spiritual attacks and systematic exclusion, begins healing through validation and support you haven't experienced since childhood. Someone finally sees your true worth and is willing to invest significantly in your spiritual, emotional, and material well-being. A mature, influential person begins making decisions about your occupational future based not just on your professional qualifications, but on your demonstrated ability to maintain excellence under pressure that would destroy most people's capacity to function. They understand that someone who performed brilliantly while under spiritual siege will be absolutely extraordinary in a supportive environment. The blessings about to manifest in your life aren't consolation prizes for what you've suffered. They're recognition of the spiritual wealth you've accumulated through every test, every challenge, every moment of choosing integrity over convenience. Your emotional and spiritual development through this journey has created a magnetic presence that attracts abundance naturally. The strength you developed through handling everything alone now makes you incredibly attractive to people who recognize real power when they see it. The business opportunities emerging offer you the chance to use your unique experiences to help others. Your journey through spiritual warfare and emergence into abundance positions you to guide others facing similar challenges. Your story becomes a blueprint for transformation that others will pay significant money to access. This isn't temporary relief from struggle, it's permanent shift into a life of abundance and purpose. The drought is over, and the flood of blessings shows no signs of slowing. Every area of your life that was under attack is about to experience restoration with increase. Your financial situation is about to improve dramatically because you've demonstrated fiscal wisdom under pressure. Your living situation is about to upgrade because you've proven you can maintain excellence regardless of external conditions. Your relationship status is about to elevate because you've developed the character that attracts quality connections. The house you lost or never able to obtain becomes available through unexpected channels, legal settlements, benefactor assistance, or opportunities that emerge from your newfound connections. Properties that seemed forever out of reach suddenly become accessible as the universe corrects the systematic limitations that were placed on your advancement. Your credit that was damaged through the financial warfare you endured gets restored not just to previous levels, but to ratings that reflect your true fiscal responsibility. Banks that once rejected your applications begin competing for your business as your circumstances transform. The endless nature of this blessing becomes apparent as opportunities continue multiplying rather than reaching any visible ceiling. This isn't temporary relief from struggle, it's permanent ascension into abundance that reflects your spiritual development and character advancement. Business ventures emerge that specifically utilize your unique experiences to help others navigate spiritual warfare. Your journey through systematic opposition and emergence into abundance positions you as a guide for others facing similar challenges. Your story becomes a blueprint worth significant financial investment. The person you became through surviving spiritual warfare is someone who attracts respect, admiration, and love from people of genuine quality. You've grown mature in ways that can only come from handling extreme adversity with grace. Your comfort with independence means you don't need others to complete you. You can choose to share your completeness with someone worthy. This makes you attractive to people who are also complete, who want partnership based on mutual enhancement rather than codependency. Your perseverance under impossible conditions demonstrates the kind of determination that successful people want in their inner circle. They know you won't abandon ship when challenges arise because you've already proven your commitment to excellence regardless of external pressure. The official recognition of your character has been building through every test you've passed. People of influence have been noting how you maintained moral standards even when it would have been easier to compromise. Your reputation for integrity now precedes you in every interaction. The partnership opportunities developing offer you connections with people who appreciate what you've survived and the strength it created. They value your journey as preparation for the level of success you're about to experience together. Your growth through this spiritual ordeal has been profound and visible to everyone with eyes to see. The person you became through surviving spiritual warfare possesses maturity that can only be forged in the fire of extreme adversity handled with grace. This maturity makes you incredibly attractive to others who've also been refined through their own challenges. Your perseverance when everything seemed hopeless demonstrates determination that successful people want in their inner circle. Your refusal to compromise your spiritual standards, even when it would have been easier to conform, shows the kind of character that builds lasting legacies rather than temporary achievements. The self-sufficiency you were forced to develop through isolation and attack has prepared you for healthy interdependence because you don't need others to complete you. You can choose to share your completeness with someone worthy. This makes you magnetic to people who are also complete and seeking enhancement rather than completion through relationship. Your comfort with independence, your ability to stand alone when necessary, your refusal to compromise your values for acceptance, these qualities create the foundation for partnerships built on mutual respect rather than desperate codependency. Quality people recognize these traits and are drawn to them like magnets to authentic spiritual power. Your elevation isn't just personal victory, it's catalyzing widespread transformation in every environment that witnessed your testing. People who observed your journey are examining their own behavior and motivations in light of your example. Those who remain silent while watching you face opposition are confronting their own cowardice. Community members who participated in gossip or exclusion are recognizing how easily they were manipulated into serving darker agendas. The revelation of spiritual warfare has forced entire communities to reckon with their susceptibility to group manipulation. Organizations are implementing new policies to prevent the kind of systematic discrimination that chosen ones often face. The documentation of how easily workplace environments can be weaponized against individuals of authentic power has created awareness that protects others from similar treatment. Educational institutions are studying your journey as an example of resilience and character development under extreme pressure. The way you maintain values while facing coordinated spiritual attacks has become a model for ethical behavior under duress. Mental health professionals are incorporating your story into their understanding of post-traumatic growth. Your ability to transform systematic spiritual warfare into strength challenges conventional assumptions about how people respond to prolonged adversity. The ripple effects extend into spiritual communities, where your example teaches others to distinguish between genuine spiritual persecution and ordinary life challenges. Your experience provides a template for recognizing when individual difficulties are part of larger spiritual patterns requiring different responses and strategies. Your former workplaces are implementing new policies and awareness programs specifically designed to prevent the kind of systematic spiritual discrimination that chosen ones often experience. The documentation of how easily professional environments can be weaponized against individuals of authentic power creates protective awareness for future targets. Business leaders and people of influence are reconsidering their values in relationships and partnerships. Your demonstration that character under pressure is more valuable than conventional attractions influences how people of means choose their associates, investments, and long-term collaborations. The legal and social precedents established through your spiritual journey create protection for future chosen ones. The consequences faced by those who participated in campaigns against you send clear messages that such activities carry real risks in multiple dimensions: legal, financial, health, and spiritual. The Obsidian inner order is a sanctuary for those who have walked difficult paths and emerged with wisdom others can't see. We understand that some experiences exist outside the boundaries of what most people consider possible or acceptable to discuss. Every week we gather live on Zoom, real people with real faces sharing real stories without judgment. There's space here for the experiences you've carried in silence, the patterns you've noticed that others dismiss, the intuitive knowledge you've gained through your journey. We don't just listen, we understand. When you're struggling to make sense of your experiences, when you feel gaslit by a world that refuses to acknowledge your reality, you can return to our recorded calls and remember that your perception is valid. Join the Obsidian inner order, where your reality is honored and your voice is heard. Link in description. Your transformation from targeted individual to elevated chosen one is creating waves that will benefit countless others. Other individuals currently experiencing spiritual warfare find hope in your vindication. Those who feel isolated and targeted understand that their experiences might be part of larger spiritual dynamics they can't yet see clearly. Your emergence into abundance demonstrates that their suffering has purpose and their vindication is possible. The spiritual communities are learning to recognize the difference between genuine persecution and perceived slights. Your experience provides a template for understanding when individual challenges are part of larger patterns requiring different responses. Business leaders are reconsidering what they value in relationships and partnerships. Your demonstration that character under pressure is more valuable than conventional attractions is influencing how people of means choose their associates and investments. The collective healing that your story provides extends far beyond your immediate community. People who have felt systematically excluded recognize themselves in your journey and find hope in your triumph. Your victory becomes evidence that spiritual justice exists and character ultimately prevails. Your teaching mission is becoming clear as others who are currently experiencing spiritual warfare seek your guidance. The wisdom you've gained through surviving coordinated opposition while maintaining your integrity positions you to help others navigate similar challenges with greater awareness and strategic understanding. The exploration of uncharted territory that lies ahead offers possibilities you never imagined during your darkest moments. Your life is moving into realms of influence, abundance, and connection that were systematically blocked during your testing phase. Financial security, emotional abundance, recognition for your true worth, partnership with people who value character above all else. Your story has become a masterclass in spiritual survival and transformation. Future generations will study your journey to understand how to handle systematic spiritual warfare with grace, dignity, and unshakable faith in divine justice. Your legacy extends far beyond personal victory. It becomes a blueprint for others walking similar paths. The cosmic plan that orchestrated every aspect of your journey is now fully revealed. Every attack was permitted because it would ultimately serve your elevation and create teachable moments for others. Every challenge was allowed because it would develop qualities you needed for your expanded mission. Every moment of isolation was designed to prepare you for the level of connection and influence that was always your destiny. This is your moment of transition from survival mode into creation mode, from defense into offense, from enduring opposition into building legacy. The same energy that survived spiritual warfare will now create spiritual abundance that benefits everyone in your sphere of influence. Your future stretches ahead, filled with possibilities you couldn't have imagined during the darkest moments of your testing. The abundance flowing toward you is proportional to the adversity you survived. The love entering your life is worthy of the character you maintained under pressure. The recognition you're receiving matches the integrity you demonstrated when no one was watching except the universe itself. You are moving from isolation into community leadership, from victim of spiritual attack into victor over spiritual darkness. Your legacy will be the example you set of how to handle systematic spiritual warfare with grace, dignity, and unshakable faith in divine justice. Future generations will study your journey as a masterclass in transformation, how to take the worst that darkness can devise and alchemize it into light that illuminates the path for others. The Chosen One's journey through the valley of testing is complete. The Chosen One's reign on the mountain of influence has begun. Your look, that powerful presence that either blesses or challenges others, will now be used in service of your true purpose. The same energy that intimidated your opponents will inspire those who need hope. The same strength that survived systematic attack will now build something beautiful and lasting. The same integrity that was tested under fire will now shine as a beacon for others navigating their own spiritual warfare. This is the talk of the town now, not the opposition you faced, but the elevation you've achieved. People marvel at your transformation from targeted individual to triumphant chosen one. Your story has become evidence that spiritual laws are real, that character matters, and that divine justice always prevails. The abundance, love, recognition, and opportunities flowing toward you represent the universe's acknowledgement of your spiritual advancement. You've graduated from the school of adversity with honors, and now you're qualified for the kind of success that transforms not just your life, but every life you touch. Your elevation is permanent, your victory is complete, and your influence is expanding. The cosmic game board didn't just flip, you flipped it, and now you're playing by entirely different rules. Rules where authentic power is rewarded, where integrity creates magnetism, where chosen ones rise to their proper place of influence and abundance. This is your time. This is your season. This is your elevation from chosen to chosen one, from tested to triumphant, from warfare survivor to warrior leader. The mountain is yours, and the view from the top reveals exactly why every step of the journey was necessary. Your transformation doesn't end with personal elevation, it catalyzes a movement. Other chosen ones are recognizing themselves through your story and understanding that their own challenges have been preparation for similar breakthrough. You're not just succeeding individually, you're pioneering a path that others will follow. The systematic good you're about to create will counterbalance the systematic evil you survived. The same strategic thinking that was used against you will now work for you as you build networks, create opportunities, and establish systems that protect and elevate other chosen ones who are still in their testing phases. Your influence is expanding exponentially because people recognize authentic spiritual authority when they encounter it. Your voice carries weight in rooms where decisions are made because your journey has demonstrated wisdom that can't be taught, only earned through surviving what you've survived while maintaining who you've remained. The talk of the town has shifted from whatever drama your opponents tried to create to the undeniable evidence of your elevation. People marvel at your transformation and find themselves drawn to understand the spiritual principles that enabled such extraordinary triumph over coordinated adversity. Your look, that powerful energy signature that either elevates or exposes everyone in your presence, now serves your true purpose. The same presence that intimidated your enemies inspires those ready for their own spiritual advancement. The same strength that survived warfare now builds lasting legacy that will benefit generations of chosen ones who follow your example.